Hello, this is a very short video that's designed to help you understand how to use Maynooth University library databases for evidence collection and using electronic resources for research. I'm just going to start off by focusing on business source complete. And the idea behind this is to enable students to conduct a good, solid, systematic, evidence-based approach to collecting data on a subject that they may have been set. So as you see, starting off here, we're looking at Maynooth University Library homepage, Maynooth University homepage, and I'm going to go to the library page, and hopefully if I just tag in library there, it'll take me there. And we're opening up at the library. So I scroll down first of all to collections. We have a few different links to go through here. Collections is down here, and I've just clicked on it. And I go over to the side where it says collections, digital, electronic, general. I'm looking for electronic, so I'm clicking on electronic here. Once again, I go over to electronic resources, and I need to click on electronic. So a few different steps, clicking through to electronic here. And here I'm at the list of the library databases. So I'm going to go straight down to business source complete. I'm going to discuss a couple of different databases and approaches to using them. I go down to business source complete. And this is a database providing full text access to over 2,300 journals, including 1,100 peer-reviewed business journals, and it gives you the full text of those. So I click on business source complete, and it opens up this page. So say the topic that I'm trying to research is Islamic finance. A couple of different ways of, of searching this. The first one is I type in Islam, and I'm going to put in wildcard. We put a wildcard like that, an asterisk at the end of it, and it will give, that means that it will search for everything with, the word Islam, but also, and everything with the word Islamic or whatever other variations there are there. And I'm going to search it to search as a title first of all, because in peer-reviewed publications, the main way that you communicate, I think, is primarily through the title of your journal. So we got Islamic, and then I'm going to put in the word finance, and I'm going to stop there and put in another wildcard, because that, as you can see here to this, that'll take in finance, financial management, other different financing, other different variations of it, to make sure that I get the broadest possible sweep at the outset. So I'm also going to search Islam, wildcard, and finance to try and capture as much as possible. I click on search, and it brings me back 911 results, which is probably more than we need. So we're going to refine these solely to what appears in academic journals. You got 252 hits there. Okay, so it's giving me 252 with Islamic and finance in the title, and it's probably a good way of looking through the different journals that are listed there. You can click on each one to see what the abstract is. This is probably a good stage for when teams or groups are working together on a topic to divide these up between them, to have a look at what's written in the abstract of each one. And when you've identified, the abstract is down here, you may excuse me, you may recognize that some are more relevant than others, that some are some articles might be appropriate to it. So it's very important to identify your search criteria. Maybe do an initial search, look at maybe 25 articles, and try and get a sense of what it is you are looking for or what you're not looking for in each one. So that's looking at it by title. Another variation on this is, and say you didn't get the requisite number of hits that you were looking for, there was very little returned, is you can also search it by abstract, or and we'll look at it through abstract in each one, or author supplied abstract. So this means that, are these keywords in the title of what you wanted to look at? And of course we get even more coming back there, because there's a lot done, that there's a lot there in English, for example. We can limit these to the date range as well. Say, for example, we just want to look at ones that were published in the last 20 years, which would have been from 1996. Yeah, 1996 to 2016. So we reduce those a little bit. We'll also look at the academic journals. You can see the different lists that you have there. Academic journals, 725. So there's probably a little bit more. And depending on what it is you're actually researching, say for example, if you're studying an act or a legal instrument that's quite recent, you might want to include what international newspapers have looked at there. So you're getting a lot of different hits back there. So I suppose my key recommendation would be, if you're looking at, is you have to certainly have a look at what comes up in the subject terms. But maybe when you've got a lot of different material there, the thing to focus on is primarily look at the title search as a way of identifying the different type of articles. You can then analyze these in a way where you could show them how they've been produced per year, and maybe pick out the top ones that you're intending to study, to try and get a sense of the amount of evidence that is there to support what it is, your whatever the evidence-based project it is that you're actually looking at. So Business Source Complete, of course, is not the only way of looking at this, of doing research. And I recommend that most people, when they're doing kind of a systematic review or an evidence-based review of a topic or of a concept, that you also look at the Social Sciences Citation Index. So just to look at the Social Sciences Citation Index, we'll start off by going to Maynooth University website again, and we'll go to the library website. So typing in LABIRI to library takes us through to the library website, and we're going to, once again, collections, down to electronic, electronic again, and electronic again. And the SSCI, or the Social Scientist Citation Index, is one of the main tools that social scientists use in general. And it's got a very, very good sweep of business-related topics as well. I'm scrolling down here, sorry, down alphabetically to SSCI, or you'll see Science Direct, and down to the Social Scientist Citation Index from 1956 to present again. So click through here. So we're going to do two different types of searches on this as well. The basic, you could do an advanced search or a basic search. We'll start off by looking at Islam, wildcard, and finance. And we're studying by topic, and topic is an interesting one for the Social Scientist Citation Index, because what it does is it look at everything in those terms that are in the abstract, the subject keywords, and in the title. I'm going to limit the date range on this one as well to, say, maybe 30 years ago. So that means that we would take us back to maybe 1986. Where's 86? Right up until present, and we click search. And interestingly enough, we look at this, document types articles, of course, which is the main one that we're looking for. You've got different fields here as well, so you can limit these as well if you want to. Let's just have a quick look at what's in these fields. Economics, of course, business finance, business. We might want to click these. Area studies, international relations, law, management. Let's just focus on the ones that we think are most relevant to business. So you've got ethics there, social science, interdisciplinary, a lot of ones there. So we can click refine here at the bottom, and that'll refine our results. It's a quite neat little one here. Okay. And then at the end, we can limit these just to articles. So we're further refining these. It's a very good way of getting to the core of this information. And we can see there that we have 162 results. One thing that you get a very good sense of is that if you click a citation report, it tells you, gives you a very neat figure there for telling you how many items are published in each year and how the citation rates are growing. Now we're early in 2016, so we can see clearly there that there's a very, very steep trajectory in each one. This is good data that you can include in your reports as well. You can see as well that the one that is, these are arranged in terms of the number of citations. So the one that has been most cited is this one by Chong and Liu, published in 2009, Islamic Banking Interest or Interest in the Pacific Basin Finance Journal. So you got some good results there. This is a good way as well that if you want to look at a specific journal article, that you can find out who has cited it in turn, who has actually cited it. So, you know, if you've been set something where you have to look at how a field or a concept has developed over time, you can look directly at that. So to go back again to our results from this, if you want a very kind of quick way of getting all of those results together, you can add them to a marked list. A quick way of doing that is by selecting it, and then you scroll on to each page as you go on. Like say page 1 of 17, just for time's sake, we'll just look at the first 10 of those there, and then at the end of that, we can go back to reviewing our marked list. Okay, They can be saved now and used in later sessions, but it gives you a marked list there. Your marked list there, and this means that you can select all of the records. You can actually do up to 500 as you go along. So we could, look at information. Authors, the abstract might be of interest. The ISSN, we'll get rid of that. The title of the article, usually important. Cited references if you need it. The amount of times it was cited, we'll leave it out for this one, just for a reason. Author identifiers. So just say, for example, you wanted to have a look at that list. So we could look at all the different records in this list. Then you select the different fields that you want to look at, and I'm going to click here, this one which says format the selected records for printing. And what this does is this gives me a list of all of the abstracts in a very, very neat place that you can print out or you can save. So if a team of people are sitting down trying to analyze these abstracts, it brings them together in a very, very neat way. You can look at what the main purpose of each article is, and then identify ones that you might want to look at in more detail as you go along. So they're just a few quick examples of how you can use Maynooth University Library resources to go into more detail on, to have a more kind of structured, systematic approach to collecting evidence. So when you're looking at this material, you can have a look, you can analyze it in a greater amount of detail. Instead of using more open search materials like Google and and that, will only look at published credible academic sources and return them for you. And I recommend maybe using both of those in tandem to make sure that you have the broadest possible sweep for whatever it is that you want to look at in some more detail. So there's a very good starting point. I also recommend that you have a look at some of the sample systematic literature reviews for looking at how you reduce what's in that list. So have a look at systematic literature reviews that have been published in credible journals or that maybe have been made available to you on Moodle also. Apologies for the constant coughing throughout this presentation.